back to the Auto Insider, where you come to find out what's new, what's hot, and what's not in the automotive industry. This week we have the 2023 BMW XM. Yeah, your eyes aren't fooling you. This isn't the X7, X6, or X5. This is an all-new vehicle from BMW, introduced at the end of 2022 with mixed reviews. A lot of people talk about what it doesn't do. I'm going to talk about why I do like this vehicle and why I think if you're looking for a super SUV, you may want to consider all that's coming from this new XM. Let's go inside, take a look around at that, and then we'll talk about this polarizing exterior. Well, if there were anything I had mixed emotions about, it'll be the roof. I love the geometric patterns and I love the light display that's in there. But as you can tell, it's a little bit dark in here. I'd like to see a panoramic roof, but that's a preference and it is cool. Another thing I keep hearing a lot of talk about is the setup here for all of your controls. How it seems like it was pulled right from one BMW into another. But why wouldn't they do that? I'm thinking maybe BMW saved some money on this design and put it under the hood. And speaking of under and the powertrain, this XM has a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 made it to a hybrid drive system setup. This is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle capable of 30 miles of range on a single electric charge. And with the charger that comes in the trunk, you can charge it from 0 to 100% in about 3 hours. So while you sleep. When SUVs were first introduced, including that first X5 from BMW, I never thought we'd be talking about supportive seats in an SUV. But with the way these 23-inch P0s grip the ground, you're gonna need all the support you can get. But BMW didn't just leave sports-minded to the design of these seats. They also imparted some comfort and convenience, heated and cooled, as well as massaging. The passenger could probably go to sleep if I weren't driving. Then let's talk about this leather here on the dashboard. The way BMW took this, what seems like more of a residential or leather that will go on a nice pair of Italian shoes, and they ran this leather across the dash and along the doors. I never would have thought that brown and blue interior would entice me so much. And if you've never been in a luxury car, this Alcantara headliner brings another sense to the party. It's the aroma. The smell you get from this, what seems like raw leather, just gives you a feeling of luxury and money. So cargo in here is good. So if you want to use it for a family vehicle, you can. There are deep pockets here for things to store away, as well as additional cup holders here. 2 cup holders there right in front of your wireless charger. There's also a USB-A charging port here and a USB-C fast charger here in the center console. Not a lot of stuff is going to go in here, but it's there in case you need it. Now let's check out the second row. And as you can see, there's plenty of room and comfort here in this second row. There's also this nice little pillow for lumbar support. When you're not using it, huge door pocket to put it away. You have 2 cup holders here for your backseat passengers, 2 USB-C fast chargers here, as well as dual climate controls for your second row passengers. Each of them have heated seats, but no ventilated seats. I think that was a miss. And sitting in this second row, I am mixed emotions about. This seat does recline, so it's pretty comfortable. But when I don't want to be laid back like this, there's no option to pull the seat forward. Well, enough of my complaining about a $168,000 super SUV. You have another USB-C fast charger right here in the seat back and one in that seat as well. So all 3 passengers, there's nobody fighting over a charger, just pillows. There are also no sunshades here in the second row, but the windows are so dark and it's so cozy in here, I guess we don't need them. And now, just for giggles, let's go through the cargo capacity on the XM. No silly dances to do back here to get this to open. It's either that button or the key in your pocket. As you can see here, there's a nice piece of BMW luggage here. No, it's not luggage. It's actually the storage compartment for the charger. I told you, it's a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Gives us a few extra horsepower to go along with the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. So when I first opened this cargo area, this height deck seemed to be a little bit high for me. However, when we did have to use it to unload things, this was a perfect height to get things and get them out. Most of you will probably only be carrying maybe golf clubs in here, but good news, you can take 3 of your buddies and their golf clubs here in this cargo area. On the outside chance you're gonna be hauling things in here, that second row does fold down. So there is a 40, 40, 20 folding third row. So you can use that center to pass through things like skis if you're taking on a ski trip, or you can fold it down either side to get those odd-shaped items home that you picked up from the antique store. When you're all done, you have an option to close the hatch or close the hatch and lock all the doors right here from the back. So even though it's not really a family vehicle, it's got a lot of key features that would make it an argument for putting it in the garage for the soccer team. But now let's address what you all came here for. How does this XM drive and handle? So we've already established that this is an extraordinary vehicle. And when I received this XM, I did something that I don't ever do. I went on YouTube and the internet to find out what other auto enthusiasts and journalists thought about this vehicle. I did that because there are a lot of things on this vehicle that you're not necessarily privy to if you weren't at the press reveal. Now, you can read all the reviews you want to, but until someone has driven this vehicle and has used it in their day-to-day lives, it's really hard to tell you anything about it other than their opinions. And I was surprised to find so many negative videos and reviews about this XM. People complain about the harshness, about other super car SUVs having better 0 to 60 times. I've heard people talk about the suspension and how it should be this, and the noise from the bumps on the road. People, the reason you buy a vehicle like this is to be an outlier. And this is an outlier vehicle. People spending $168,000 on a vehicle, the majority of those people, in my opinion, are not because gearheads. They don't care what the torque is. They don't care what the gear ratios are. And they're not specifically concerned about the exact 0 to 60 times. How often are you actually in a contest that you need to know the exact 0 to 60 times? I just want to get that disclaimer out there because I'm actually appalled at all of these journalists giving you reviews on vehicles of which they know nothing about. They've gotten some of the specs about the performance figures, but they're not considering the whole ownership experience, the overall ownership experience of a vehicle like this. When I decide to fork over 6 figures for a vehicle, my first order is it pleasing to my senses? Do I like the way it looks? Check, this is a beautiful car. Does it stand out? Check, it's an outlier. Does it attract attention? Absolutely. Next, how does it perform in regards to all of these everyday daily drivers on the road? Far exceeds anything that you can buy for under $100,000. Nothing close. Yes, it shares some of the features from some of the other BMW models that you can get at a bargain compared to this. But you can't get this geometric roof design. You can't get these 23-inch gold wheels. You can't get this signature gold line going down the side and coming up around the top. It's one of those vehicles that you pay to be different. And more people are paying for the experience than they are for the things that I hear all of these journalists talking about when they give their impressions of this vehicle. The XM comes with a 4.4-liter twin turbo V8. It's made it to a hybrid setup, adds a little additional weight. I'm guessing it took a little bit of cargo capacity back there in the cargo area. But we're talking about a luxury sport SUV. This is, again, one of those vehicles that I say it's an aspirational vehicle. This isn't a vehicle you go and buy because you need an SUV. This isn't that vehicle. It's a very specific buyer for this vehicle. And if you're that specific buyer, I encourage you, disregard most of what you're hearing out here from these automotive enthusiasts about this vehicle. So it does all that it's supposed to do. And then when we marry that to the fit, the finish, the design, this brown leather on the dash with stitching along this dashboard, contrasted with this blue interior, with this what they call green but looks like blue exterior, this vehicle gives us everything that we expect from a brand like BMW. And because this trick never gets old, gesture control is a game changer. And adding to the luxury, you even have heated and cooled cup holders. So whether you drink iced coffee or hot coffee, you're covered. That's all the time we have today on the Auto Insider. But for more of what's new, what's hot, and what's not, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, then download the SoundCloud app and listen to all of our reviews in their entirety. This 2023 BMW XM. Is it hot or is it not? This vehicle is all the way hot. I don't care what those other YouTubers say. This one should be on your list if you want to impress all your friends and everybody who sees you going down the street. And how could it not be hot? Do you remember the gold kits we used to put on our Acura Legends back in the day? Man, get out of here. This was hot.